Design tools don't just help us work faster, they shape how we think. And over time, small updates begin to influence how we design, how we document, and how we make decisions. Revit 2027 was released recently, and over the past few days, we've been testing it inside real project workflows, looking closely at what actually improves our work and what doesn't. In this video, I'll walk through 10 updates architects and designers should know. And if you're new here, my name is Vlanka. I'm the principal at VERB, and I teach architecture at USC. Let's get into it. Let's start with what's probably the most talked about addition, AI. Autodesk introduced the AI assistant last fall, showing it placing windows across the facade, suggesting a more automated design process. So naturally, the expectation is that it can take a real task. But in practice, at least for now, the experience is limited. We run through a series of everyday tasks. Some worked partially, most really didn't. For example, I asked it to create a new sheet for a floor plan, and which is normally a repetitive, simple task. However, the result is this, which is not ideal. At the moment, Autodesk is calling this a preview, and that feels accurate to me. So right now, it works less about production and more about navigating and querying the model. And it seems aimed more towards the newer user than advanced workflow. It's cloud-based, which means it can improve over time. But for now, I'd approach it carefully, especially in important live projects. And we'll take a deeper dive look into this in the future video. Now, let's highlight one of my favorite updates. For someone who lives in LA and works on residential projects, Revit 2027 includes a new sample project, Pacific Continental Residence. At first glance, it feels like a typical example file, but as you move through it, it becomes more interesting. The project includes several design options, each exploring different architectural directions. And what stands out isn't just the design, it's how the model is constructed. How families are organized, how views are structured, for example. It is less of a template and more of a case study. And in practice, studying a well-built model can just as valuable as learning a new tool. In our practice, design options are a way of thinking through a project. They allow us to test ideas, direction, and hold multiple versions of the project before committing. In Revit 2027, there's a small but meaningful change. Views assigned to a design option are no longer selectable from the main model. To access them, you need to activate that option. It's a subtle shift, but it reinforces a clearer boundary between design alternatives. There's also an improvement in controls and design option. And if you're in design option, you can select to toggle active only for better control of your model. It is a small change, but it reduces friction in your modeling workflow. Drawing is still the primary way we communicate. And often, clarity comes down to something as simple as line weights. In previous version, linked models always inherit the host model's line weights. Now, you can choose to display them using their own settings. The result is subtle, but it's important. The linked model retains its own graphic hierarchy rather than being flattened into the host model. And that makes the drawing easier to read, closer to the original design intent. Now let's look at Forma. Forma is Autodesk's tool for early-stage design analysis, focused on context, wind, and environmental performance. Until now, using it meant stepping outside of Revit exporting models, running analysis, then coming back into Revit. In 2027, that process becomes more direct. Some Forma tools are now embedded inside Revit. So instead of interrupting your workflow, you can evaluate design decision as the model develops. And being able to analyze your design earlier leads to better design decisions. Sustainability is no longer something we check at the end. It's something we design with from the beginning. In Revit 2027, you can now assign carbon data directly to materials. Once applied, materials are marked with a small indicator showing they carry embodied carbon information. It's a simple addition, but it shifts on how materials are evaluated, not just visually, but in terms of impact. There are still limitations. Default libraries don't include this yet, but it's a step forward, integrating environmental thinking into everyday workflow. Wall modeling has been evolving in every Revit update. In Revit 2027, you can now host walls into other walls. This makes it easier to build layered assembly directly within the model. The system handles joints and opening more automatically, so geometries and drawings are a lot more clean. But there are some limitations. Hosted elements like doors and windows don't fully recognize the combined wall thickness. So you might see some inconsistencies, especially in the detail conditions. It's a useful tool, but one that still required some care in application. Before we continue, if you're interested in using and learning Revit more as a design tool in your practice, we're working on a course that focuses on exactly that. We cover workflow from Rhino to Revit, renderings, and improving drawing set. You can join our waiting list, link in the description. All right, let's keep going. Stair annotation are a small detail, but they affect how drawings are read. In Revit 2027, you now have more control over how the stair numbers are displayed. You can assign different text styles above and below the cut lines and control their visibility independently. It's a subtle improvement, but it gives you more precision in how information is communicated in your project. Tagging in Revit should be straightforward, but often it is not. In this update, you now have more control over tag leaders. You can adjust endpoints, align elbows, and snap leaders directly to geometry. The result is a cleaner, more intentional annotation. There are still some limitations, but overall it's a meaningful improvement. There are also an update to multi-category tags. You can now assign them as a default across multiple categories, so tagging becomes more consistent and efficient. Let's finish this video with something that solves a very practical problem: automatic numbering. In Revit 2027, you can define rules that assign values to elements and keep them updated as the model changes. You define a filter, choose a perimeter, group elements, and set a format. Once applied, the system handles the rest. Elements are numbered consistently and new ones follow the same logic automatically. It removes a lot of repetitive work, and more importantly, it introduces a clearer structure to how information is managed. Looking across these updates, a pattern starts to emerge. The most useful changes aren't always the most visible ones. They're the ones that reduce friction, clarity in workflows, and make decisions easier to manage. Because ultimately, these tools aren't just here to help us draw faster. They're shaping how we think through a project. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions about anything we covered, feel free to leave a comment below. And if this video was helpful, consider subscribing. We'll be sharing more Revit workflow and architectural design videos. You can also follow us on all our socials for updates and behind-the-scenes content. link in the description. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.